We will have 4 questions to vote on, yes or no, this election day. Well, not this election day, the one that's a week and a day. All this week at 5 o'clock, we're going to be looking at both sides of each question. Today, why not start with question 1, eliminating the gas tax? Now, a yes vote would repeal the gas tax law. Basically, the gas tax would stay the same unless the legislature votes to increase or still increase it. It eliminates the requirement that the state's gas tax be adjusted every year based on the consumer price index. A no vote is simple. It would make no change in the laws regarding the gas tax. We were going to hear from both sides of this debate. Live from our Beacon Hill studio is Mayor Joe Curtatone, a Democrat from Somerville, who will vote no on question 1. The yes people were supposed to show up. They did not. So guess what, Joe? It's just me and you. You ready?
Oh, you gotta love it. We'll take the airtime.
All right, I bet you will. No, I'm going to get both. I'm going to present both sides. Don't you worry about that. Why are you going to vote no?
We're asking the people of Massachusetts to vote no on 1 because we face a real and present public safety crisis, Maria. More than half of our bridges are either structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. And 1 in 5 roadways in Massachusetts are in poor condition and contribute to 1 in 5 roadway fatalities. This is real. This is present. And this is because that building behind me, up until recently, this issue has been kicked down the road for years, and we are facing a crisis. If question 1 passes, we'll lose more than $1 billion in necessary funding to bring our roadways and bridges up to a good state of repair.
But, Mayor, why does it have to come from the gas tax? And really, the argument on the other side is this is taxation without representation. These are just lawmakers who every year, without asking the people they represent, without asking them, to have them just keep implementing the gas tax, keep putting this through without asking the people who put them into office what they think about that.
So let me answer that,
okay.
that question. 1, the gas tax has already been raised from 21 to 24 cents.
Right.
This is whether or not it should be adjusted per inflation, index for inflation, much like the sales tax is, much like income tax and property taxes. In fact, Maria, the standard federal exemption is adjusted every year without a vote of Congress. This is not new because it adjusts to the buying power of the dollar and adjusts the brunt on people who pay for those goods. And it is deemed the most progressive and equitable way. In other words, the user pays for using the roadway. So this is nothing new. And you know, this issue has been kicked down the road for years, more than 20 years, until the recent Transportation Finance Reform Bill, which added $500 million of transportation money from zero dedicated transportation money when we need $1.2 billion. So the whole issue of taxation without representation really ignores the buying power of a dollar, how it dissipates over time with inflation.
But don't you think, Mayor, that if lawmakers want to increase a tax, they should ask the people first?
Well,
it shouldn't be automatic?
This is a representative government, supposedly behind me, Maria. I'm not going to stand here and defend everything the legislature's done, but they took an important vote over a year ago with the Transportation Finance Reform Bill. If we want to keep our roadways safe, and let me talk about something here. Now, here's an important statistic for you.
Go ahead.
Massachusetts ranks 2nd to worst, only to Rhode Island's worse than us in terms of the condition of our bridges. And our top 10 bridges, of the most populated traveled bridges, carry more than 1 million cars per day. I mean, what are we going to wait for? Some real disaster to happen? We've seen the Long Island Bridge had to be closed. We saw that major pothole incident, which you guys covered so eloquently last week, where more than 50 vehicles were damaged.
Right.
We saw the bridge on 495 last summer where that debris fell on that car carrying a family. And we know, this came out in the Herald just the other day, the condition of our roadways and bridges today, the poor condition, cost our drivers $8.3 billion annually in insurance costs, damage to their vehicles, and congestion delays. We're costing taxpayers money because we've done nothing.
But, Mayor, I don't think you're going to get an argument from anybody saying that they don't want. Of course people want better infrastructure. They want better bridges. They don't want to run over those potholes. But why can't the money come from something else? Why can't the people approve the money? And if they can't, why can't it come somewhere else?
Well, let me tell you what's happening now, Maria, where the money comes from for cities like Somerville. In Massachusetts, cities and towns, and by the way, cities and towns in Massachusetts operate and maintain more than 90% of the roadways in the Commonwealth.
Right.
That's more than 35,000 miles. That's going around the world once into Salt Lake City and back. And you know, the money that we get from the state to support that is called Chapter 90 money, coming from sources like the gas tax. However, it is not enough. All the studies show that we need at least a $500 million just of Chapter 90 money. Today, we receive $200 million. So what is occurring by default?
Right.
Cities like Somerville or towns and cities across the Commonwealth have to go to their property taxpayers. We have to borrow to supplement the money we get from Chapter 90 funds. So doing nothing has resulted in this: pushing the burden on the property taxpayer and pushing the burden on the motor vehicle owner. We're paying more in insurance costs and congestion delays. In fact, I probably would have been at your studio today if I could make it through the traffic.
You know what? I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. And you know what? The traffic's not so... I'm looking out of our studios here. It's not so bad, you know, Mayor.
Oh, really? Try coming from Somerville to Dedham at this time.
I have. Well, not at this time, but you're right. I'm usually here working. So let's bottom line this for everybody. The people who want people to vote yes say this is about taxes, that it's as simple as that. You say it's about our roads and our bridges and our infrastructure.
This is about keeping everyone who travels and utilizes our bridges and roadways safe, that we can get to and from work, to our healthcare, to academias, to our downtown neighborhoods and business districts. And if we want to be competitive in the 21st century global economy as a Commonwealth, we need the transportation infrastructure to make us competitive. Vote no on one.
Mayor Joe Curtatone, a Democrat from Somerville, who, as you just heard, will vote no on question 1. A lot of people voting yes, both sides of that issue. And if you're interested, just go to the Secretary of State's website, and you can see both of the arguments right there. Mayor, good to see you.
Nice talking to you, Maria.
All right, thanks. Off to you.